Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Acosta, and the natural disaster I will be focusing on is Hurricane Michael. This will be for my Emergency Management 301 class. For some background information, Hurricane Michael was designated as a Category 5 hurricane on October 7th, 2018. So on the map, it started off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula originally as a tropical storm. And as it progressed northward, Hurricane Michael made landfall 13 kilometers west of Mexico Beach, Florida, and arrived there at 1300 local time on October 9th, 2018. It surged through the northwestern area of Florida known as the Panhandle, as well as going inland to many other states such as North and South Carolina, Alabama, and Georgia. It resulted in approximately $25 billion in damages, as well as the death of 59 people within the United States. And lastly, it dissipated on October 16th, 2018. So next we have challenges faced in recovery and relief for communities. So survivors may be trapped throughout many urban communities due to flooding, falling debris. Next, we have critical infrastructure that is damaged, so power grids, highways, etc. And also, we have the need for shelters. It's due to many homes being destroyed or in flooded areas and displacing many people. Next, we have just to expand on critical infrastructure, there will be constant power outages. Next, we have little to no hygiene. So it's going to be very hard to remove in a cleanly manner dirty items, such as fecal matter, which may spark some sicknesses. And lastly, we have the distribution of food and clean water that has to be distributed to many people who are affected. So actions taken to face these challenges. And we have a whole host of organizations and entities to have taken part in this rescue. So to start, we have FEMA Urban Search and Rescue. We have had 58 evacuations, 48 assists, 3,362 shelter and place checks, 127 animal assists, and 7,257 structural assessments have been completed in the state of Florida by them. And next we have the American Red Cross. So more than 3,000 people stayed overnight in shelters in Florida and Georgia, and they have provided basic needs of food, water, and medicine. Next, we have the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They're assigned to temporary emergency power and is prepared to assess and install generators as requested by the state, with 85 generators which are on site. So next, we have the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So HHS Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services beneficiaries are deployed to these affected areas. U.S. Department of Defense deployed 32 helicopters, 6 fixed-wing aircraft, 17 swift water vehicles, up to 160 high water vehicles, which are available to support search and rescue missions. And lastly, we have the U.S. Coast Guard completed 355 assistances and rescues and conducted surveillance to assess and repair damages to infrastructure. So my analysis. I think the recovery and relief efforts conducted by the various organizations and entities were very effective. Each organization had a specific mission set, framed standard operating procedure to meet the challenges that resulted from Hurricane Michael. For example, they were able to assess and repair hits to critical infrastructure, distribute food, water, and medicine, provide temporary shelter and housing, as well as assist in search and rescue operations. And due to that, I would say that it was not coordinated and lackluster as seen during the response to Hurricane Katrina. So, lessons learned. Just touching back from my previous point, the response had been very effective. However, there should have been more mitigative methods pre-landfall of Hurricane Michael. And complacency due to Hurricane Michael originally being a tropical storm resulted in less mitigative actions, and it is important to observe every storm as a possible natural disaster threat to the United States. All right, thank you. This has been my presentation on Hurricane Michael. And here are my references used during the presentation. Thank you again.